Hello, my friends, families, and colleagues. I'm bombarded with questions and arguments about fructose. About lactose all the time. Fructose as well. It's a big taboo because science make it to be, which really is not a problem. But another taboo is lactose. Why? Because milk is animal product and it is healthy to consume. It's actually superfood. But it contains lactose. Lactose is a sugar. And the belief is in meat eater community that it is interfering with ketogenic state. That how can you be in ketogenic state if you consume milk? Because milk has a lactose, and lactose is a sugar, carbohydrate. I have mentioned many times that lactose is not in the milk to provide nutrition. It is in the milk to provide fiber for defecation. This is why a baby that is consuming mother's milk does not have diarrhea, but has a pasty stool. And if it's only eating liquid food, milk, nothing else, where does the fiber that creates the consistency of the baby stool, where does it come from? Well, it comes from lactose. Lactose is a carbohydrate that body has absolutely not use for. It will not absorb it in the blood. So if the individual that drinks milk does not produce enzyme, lactase, then it cannot convert lactose into fiber, and since body does not want to absorb it, it creates diarrhea and body shoots it out. And people, vegans, are the ones that start yelling, oh, you see, milk is only for babies. If you are older, you cannot really digest it. It is bad for you. This is why old animals don't suckle. And it gives you colics and actually gives you diarrhea. Well, it happens if you are mingling, poisoning your body, shifting its genetic expression, and now your body starts working in a different way to accommodate you or adjust you for a different type of a diet, which is not normal for human body. Now, on the other side, we are being told by experts, and all doctors agree with it. Why? Because we are brainwashed morons with trust what we are being served without observing and using the Google. They just don't think. We don't think. So we say, no, glucoholic state or carboholic state is a good state for our body. We should not be in ketosis because ketosis is bad. You know, you will have ketonuria. Well, this is not really true. You may have ketonuria if you are switching the system and you are producing more ketones, but still your cells are utilizing glucose, or glucose is being provided. So there is a conflict. But every baby, number one, every mammal, every animal is always in ketogenic state. There is no animal that is in glucoholic state. Doesn't matter what their food is. Herbivores eat only plants, but they are in ketogenic state. The only creature that is in glucoholic state that uses actual carbohydrate, glucose is the only one, for cellular production of energy. And this is a human on cooked vegetable diet. as a baby, when the baby is suckling mother's milk, it is in ketogenic state. And it is supposed to continue being in ketogenic state, but what we do, we start feeding the baby carbohydrates, glucose, sugar, compote, different oatmeals and stuff. And this provides body with free liberated glucose from cellulose, ready for absorption, and makes babies to have diarrhea and to vomit. And this is why the thing is, well, you have to wean the baby slowly from the tit. You cannot just quickly replace the food because body has to adjust. Well, if you start feeding the baby correctly, then there is no problem. If you eat correctly and then you give the same food to the child, there is no weaning period. No animals in nature have weaning period. Usually in wolf, mother dog comes and regurgitate the semi-digested food that it has in the stomach for the babies to eat. And when they're a little bit bigger, then it brings them piece of meat, bone to chew on and to strengthen the muscles, the jaws. And this is how wolf remains in ketogenic state. If we would do the same, then baby would continue in ketogenic state, turning into grown-up in ketogenic state. This is the correct state for our body, as it is correct state for all animals. We are no exception. We made exception because we start poisoning ourselves with the wrong food. Now, when you do that, more you eat wrong food, then genes have to adjust your body to it. It's an adaptation of your body, so you can survive doing this crap. And body starts genetically advising cells what to do to survive, and this way certain production stops, like we stop producing the I don't want to use this language because if I paste it on YouTube, I'm gonna be banned on YouTube. I'm very close all the time. They give me blockages. So it is a protein marker that advises white blood cells what is garbage and what is not garbage. And they stop making it because the same gene that is alerting cell to produce it, when the food shifts, now it shifts resonance and advises cells to start producing the nagalase, or properly called glycoside hydrolase, to hydrolyze glucose so it can be converted easier into energy. Well, at the same time as this is happening, if you are really on strict plant diet, there is no need for your body to produce lactase, because these people don't eat any dairy and they don't eat any animal product. So they become vitamin B deficient, and even if they eat supplements, they cannot bring it in, because to bring vitamin B, you have to have intrinsic factor, which is produced in your stomach during breakdown of protein. So the only way is really injected in the vein. So don't tell me that you eat correct diet if you need to be injected with supplement, otherwise you croak. Okay, so just Google, huh? Now, they also start producing lactase. So now if by any chance they start drinking milk, they want to try it, well, they cannot convert lactose into fiber because lactase is not being produced, and they have diarrhea from it because body does not want this stuff in the blood. So it is going to close membrane, close cells. It will not absorb, and milk is going to shoot out of you, non-digested actually, because of presence of lactose, which it cannot absorb. Now, there comes the childish reasoning. Well, when you drink milk, your blood sugar rises. So why does blood sugar rise when you drink milk if you are not absorbing sugar? Because the only sugar in the milk is lactose. Well, there is very minor amount of glucose as well. Minor amount. It doesn't cause any problem. Well, what causes sudden increase in the blood sugar when we don't eat carbohydrate? What could be the cause? The only cause is going to be liver releasing sugar, glucose only, into the blood. Now, why would, because no other organ can do it. Even though we have glycogen in the muscle tissue, in muscles, muscle cells, and we have it in the brain cells, but neither muscles and brain can release glucose into the blood. Only liver can do it. And liver has little bigger storage of glycogen, so it can support the body for, I don't know, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes of energy. So how come this glucose in the blood can only rise in two occasions? Either we consume it and it is absorbed through digestive tract, or liver releases it. There is no other option. So when you drink milk and there is a lactose in the milk and you don't have diarrhea, it means that your body is producing lactase and it's converting lactose into fiber, give you consistency of a stew, pasty consistency. But now, how come that blood sugar rise? And everybody jumps on the wagon. Well, you see, this is the proof, measure it, drink milk and check your blood sugar and you will see it jumps. Yeah, it jumps, but why does it jump? It is not jumping because we have drank lactose, because lactose is not going to be absorbed. Body has no use for lactose other than converting into fiber and enabling elimination. So where is this lactose? Where is this glucose coming from, which is in the blood? It's not the lactose. Glucose rose. Well, because we know it, but we kind of skip it. That milk contains steroids, contains hormones. Not big amount, and also the jump of the sugar is not very high, it's a moderate jump. Why? Because milk contains steroids and growth hormones. But in this particular case, steroid is the trigger, because we know that when steroid is released, when it's absorbed in a cell, it is going to break the connection between protein and glucose in the glycogen, releasing the glucose. And when that happens in a liver, then liver will release some glucose into the blood. Now, why does that happen? We have to understand that babies grow very, very fast. And they need huge amount of energy. And although they are in ketogenic state, and they have plenty of mitochondria running, they are using the little boosts for periodic increases of energy. And this is why sugar in blood rises. You drink your milk, well, you have received a little bit of steroid. Why do bodybuilders drink a whey protein? Well, they don't drink only whey protein. Whey comes from milk. And in that mixture, there is also steroid, natural steroid, and growth hormone. So bodybuilder will have more power, and it will have improved muscle growth from consuming milk more than from consuming other kind of animal protein like meat. This is why whey or dried milk, especially whey protein, is being sold as additive to shakes for bodybuilders, and they kind of consume quite a bit of it because it's a natural steroid. Low level, it doesn't cause problems because it's very low level, but it stimulates growth with the growth hormone, but it gives the energy required for fast growth. So anyone that is still repeating the nonsense that the body has the natural carbohydrate, which is glycogen, yeah, but it's for special circumstances, basically it's a booster. And the booster also is in the milk to boost the growth. And the triggering mechanism to release some of your own steroid, to release some of your own glycogen, actually glucose from glycogen, well, milk is the trigger because it does have steroids in it. So this is the reason why sugar jumps a little bit when you drink milk. Not because you are drinking milk and lactose is coming into your blood. It ain't happening. Body has no use for it. It does not absorb lactose. So if it cannot convert it into fiber, you have diarrhea. And it will not be able to convert it into fiber if you messed your digestion because you eat crap. You are not eating the correct diet. And if you are eating correct diet, doesn't matter how old you are, you will be producing lactase. So no matter how old you are, you can drink milk and you are not going to have diarrhea. And if you have diarrhea because you are drinking milk, it is because of plasma, because milk is full of plasma, water and minerals, that if you are toxic, if your blood is toxic, it will immediately trigger cleanse. And you will be eliminating toxic mucus. That will trigger diarrhea. It may even trigger cough, the phlegm. It may even trigger runny nose. It may even trigger sweat and elimination through skin. It all depends on the level of toxicity and level of overall hydration in your body. What happens when you introduce a bit more plasma, being it salty water or being in milk. So I hope that this is clearing a little bit the situation now, and you are not confused, because I'm constantly being asked, well, I want to be in ketogenic state, but now you say I can drink milk, and milk has a carbohydrate. Well, do not get confused, okay? There is no carbohydrate in the milk that is going to raise your glucose levels other than stimulated through steroid hormone, which is in the milk. So the confusion is gone, and the level of hormone of steroid is very low, so it will boost you a little bit. You don't even realize it. It's not like when you are in a life-threatening situation and you get drenched with steroid and you start converting all the glycogen into glucose. You start shaking because now you are full of energy. If you don't use it, you start shaking because it's a very strong booster. But in the milk, the amount of steroid is very low, and it's basically just to trickle a little faster growth of the body, to give a little bit more energy during the process of growing. Not enough to trip you into a glucoholic state, because you are not going, you are still predominantly producing energy from ketones, from fat, and a little bit boosted, squirts of glucose just to give you a little speedy growth. So you can drink as much milk as you want, eat as many cheeses as you want, and your body is going to remain in ketogenic state. And I have a couple people now who are doing the self-healers protocol by strictly drinking milk and supplementing with plasma, and they are doing very good. Absolutely no problem. They're energetic. They have, they feel great. Everything is fine. So there's no problem. And I explain, whenever you have a problem after you drink milk or dairy, you eat dairy and your skin breaks out, or you get diarrhea, or you get headaches and stuff, it's because your body starts releasing toxins. Okay, and it has to release them into the blood before it can release them out of the body. So a variety of symptoms may occur. Again, it's not because of the milk, it is because of the plasma. And the jump of glucose in the blood is because of steroid that is triggering liver into releasing a little bit of glucose. That's all. Not enough to take you out of ketogenic state. It's not going to happen. Babies are always in ketogenic state as long as they are on the mother's milk. As soon as they are given formula has glucose. On purpose, they add glucose in there to start shifting the metabolism of the baby on genetic level, adjusting it to glucose, so then transition to carbohydrate-based foods is easier, and we call it normal state of a body, which is not. We are all sick because we are all in glucoholic state, while we should be in ketogenic state all the time. I hope that this cleared now the situation, that you understand that you can have milk as much as you want, and the jump in the sugar is not caused by lactose. You are not absorbing lactose. Lactose is converted into fiber and shoots out of your body. It doesn't stay there. And the increased sugar comes because of steroids that will release a little bit of glucose out of your liver. That's all. Okay, my friends, I hope you get it. Just, sleep on it. And don't be afraid of drinking milk. It's a good stuff. Thank you for listening. God bless us all. Love you. Namaste.